Hi and welcome to this live currency stream indicator table video with me, John, on this Monday, the 2nd of October. So back in now, obviously we had a week off last week. There was some good moves in the market last week. So hopefully you logged into the live currency stream indicator tables, had a look around and spotted some of those opportunities. Now, today we can see that the New Zealand dollar is one of the stronger currencies. Pound was something that we've been watching a lot recently as well. That is still W1 on our higher time frame tables, the trend traders tables. It has gone away from the day traders though. So what we want to do is wait for that to potentially appear back here before looking again at any kind of pound opportunities. But at the moment, the New Zealand dollar is a strong currency. It's telling us that we should be looking at New Zealand yen long, perhaps even New Zealand CAD long, maybe even Euro Kiwi short. We can also see the dollars come on here as a strong currency as well, second strongest currency on the trend traders. We know the dollar has been strong for some time, and that could be potentially stronger against the yen still, which we know that market has been moving up for some time. Just have a little look at what's on the slate this week. We can see we've already had some data out of China. There is a holiday in China at the moment. There's also a holiday in Australia today. Other than that, we've got quite a bit of data coming out this week. If I actually just filter down into the high impact data, we do have non-farm payroll this week. Non-farm payroll being the first Friday of every month. You can see here down through here that we've got non-farm payrolls expected to come in a little bit lower than previous, down from 187 to potentially come in at 163. This is the first jobs report since the Federal Reserve paused interest rates, so it's going to be one that's watched very, very closely. We do have a speech today out of Federal Reserve Chair Powell. That's at 4 p.m. BST, so that's going to be an interesting one to watch. We also have ISM manufacturing PMIs at 3 p.m. So considering anything dollar today, we've got to be aware that there is a report coming out at 3 and 4. We have a couple of interest rate decisions this week as well. We've got the RBA coming out with a rate decision expected to leave rates unchanged. We also have an RBNZ interest rate decision, again looking to leave rates unchanged. So when we look at this table here, the New Zealand as a strong currency is definitely going to be affected by the outcome of that decision and whatever happens in the statements after. Dollar yen, obviously the dollar going to be affected by the data coming up today. So tables aren't really showing too much, but we're going to go take a look at these charts anyway. So we're going to take a look at dollar yen first. Dollar yen is a really interesting market at the moment. You have the dynamic of the yen weakness. The BOJ obviously want to try and turn that around. They haven't moved anything on rates yet. They have talked about the potential of doing that. There's even talks of interventions and things, and that was around about the 145 handle here back in July, or the start of July, end of June, start of July, and we actually had sort of a dip lower of maybe it was an anticipation of an intervention that didn't come in the end. Price ever since that 145 has just slowly grinded its way higher. You can see that we've come now towards the 150. We've broken through 148. We've broken through 149. Now we're heading to the 150 handle. And you can see here, the last time the Bank of Japan actually intervened was back here on the 21st of October 2022. That was in that range of the 150 up to the 152. So to try and look for that yen weakness is now coming to a bit of an area where we need to kind of see what happens. Do I think price is going to reach the 150? I think it probably will. I think it'll probably trade within this zone here, probably even hit the 152. I would just say that if you are trading any kind of yen markets this week, you want to be trading them at a lower risk. The reason being is because once that intervention kicks in, a lot of volatility can kick in. You see that candlestick there, you know, that's a lot of well, that is a very large range considering what came before it. So you know, we've got to be a little bit cautious of that. What I don't want you to do is start getting long in here, then there's a huge sort of intervention and, you know, stops are below these lows or these lows down here and you get knocked out of that. So you want to be going in at a lower risk. Saying that though, going on to our 4-hour time frame, you can see the highs are starting to not get as high as the previous one. We only just about broke above the previous high here at 149.70. If you actually look at the stochastic indicator as well, there is a potential for price to form a little bit of divergence. You've got the higher high here, potentially a lower high here coming in on the stochastic. That could equal a little bit of downside. I've got this trend line support running through here as well. You can see that there. You can see it connected with this low previously. That expanded out comes around about that 148 handle, which does coincide with a lot of this previous price action that we saw in the market. So maybe if price came back into 148, I'd be really interested to see how the tables shape up at that point, and if there's still something for us to take into consideration on dollar yen. Another market of interest then, so if we just flick back, obviously Kiwi was the stronger currency, so maybe Kiwi yen is somewhere where we should focus our attention on. Now if I go up to the weekly chart here, you can see that price is trading within a bullish range here, bullish channel. Price has been sort of within that channel since around about September 2020, and price has been just working its way within that. You can see every time we kind of come into the high, we break down to the low of the channel, and then so on and so forth. So if we are expecting maybe a run up into the channel high, then you're going to be looking to see price target this 92 resistance, perhaps even the 94 resistance here for Kiwi yen. That does open the door for quite a large move to the upside, considering we're trading around about the 89 handle at the moment. There's a potential for a nice sort of 300 to 500 pip move potentially to have for Kiwi yen. So I've been watching the lower time frames here. If we have a little look at the daily chart, we did close quite aggressively higher on Friday. You can see we didn't quite close above this high that formed on the 5th of July though, so that was my only concern. We did obviously close above the 89 handle, but yeah, I'm looking to see if that 89 handle will act as support again. If you go to the 4-hour time frame here, you can see that structure, the market making those higher highs, higher lows. So I'd like perhaps to see price just come back down a little bit further, perhaps into that 89 handle, find a bit of support. If the stochastic at that point's below 20, then and kind of breaking back above, I think that'd be even better for us to kind of consider an opportunity there as well. So yeah, I'm looking for that potential in this market, but I'm just going to play the daily chart here, see if we do get that kind of pullback. So 89 is the area of interest here, so I am actually going to set an alert just above the 89 handle, just to see if we get that alert, and then we can see what price is doing after the fact. Kiwi CAD's an interesting market. Working within a bit of a bearish channel actually. CAD has actually been quite strong for some time, but you can see here we've been working within that sort of bearish channel. We've come towards the lows of that bearish channel and a key area between the spot 79.50 and the spot 8 handle. Price has had a little bit of a reaction here and is breaking higher. I think for the long term, I would really want to see price trade through this channel resistance. If we were to trade through the channel resistance, I think that then changes the dynamic of this market, and we could be looking to target the previous swing highs. So you've got the spot 84 in here, spot 86 for instance, and maybe even the spot 88 as potential targets. You can see obviously we found quite an aggressive support down here at the 7650, large move coming in there. So that was obviously a lot of institutional buying coming in at that point, because those are the only ones that can force price to move as aggressively as that. And if you look left around about that 76.50, you can see that previous low there on the 28th of May. So that is something that I quite like the idea of. I do want to see that break though. On the 4-hour time frame, you could be looking to see if price will come a little bit lower. We do have sort of previous highs coming in down around about the 0 spot 850. That would be an area of interest as well. So let's just pop an alert there. If price was to come back, then we've got something to potentially work with at that point. Lower time frames at the moment aren't really giving me too much to work with, so I'm going to stick to the higher time frames for now and see if we do get any kind of pullbacks into those markets. But yeah, yen's obviously looking a little bit weaker from the table point of view. Looking at across the board though, the yen is just a little bit mixed. You can see it's weak against the pound here. It's down against the Oz at the moment, so maybe a little bit of risk off tone coming in. But I don't think that's the case, to be honest, because the yen's a little bit mixed across the board, so we've got to be a little bit careful with that market, I feel. Kiwi obviously doing pretty well at the moment, so I do like Kiwi yen. That's probably my main focus at the moment, looking to see if we get a move into the the 89 handle. We also have a bit of a trend line support here on the 4 hour that I've just noticed, that you could potentially look at a bit of a retracement too. If I just grab a fib, let's just see if we go from the swing low to swing high. We're at the 62 at the minute. Let's just, flip that the other way around. I sometimes draw my fibs backwards. It's an old habit from when I was looking at Fibonacci extensions, but you can see here there's the 62 actually falls right at that 89 handle. So yeah, for me this area is a little bit more important than the 38 at this current moment in time. So we'll see what happens with this one. I'll set some alerts. No real trade for me right now, but I will see what happens. Thanks for watching this video update. I'll catch you in the next one.